Hello there everybody and welcome to my first proper and official YouTube video with the mean Tulip Jägermeister. I know it's a mouthful. So, of course, my first video was the channel trailer and I've put a link to it in the video description for those who didn't see it or didn't already see the channel trailer. But I wanted to begin my first proper YouTube video with a series of most wanted and suggested Supremacy 1914 videos on YouTube. And of course we're talking about the strategy guides. So in this case, a strategy guide on how to play Supremacy 1914 like a pro. So first off, part 1 of my Supremacy 1914 strategy guide, choosing a country. Some of you will already know what I'm going to say to you guys, but some of you will not, because I bump into a lot of players that make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Players that enter the map even when the map is, let's say, 4 or 5 days old, and they just get their asses handed to them on a silver plate just because they've chosen the wrong country to play into that map. So the first thing you want to do is choosing the right country. Today we are looking to the Great War map, which is a large map actually with 30 players, so 30 countries. It has some countries in North Africa, so for example Morocco and Algeria. It has some countries of the Middle East, so let's say Arabia and Syria. It has some countries of Russia. It has Europe entirely, so Western and Eastern Europe. And it has some countries of the United States and Canada. And even Greenland over here and Iceland, which is part of Denmark. So we're looking today to that map. Side note, I am playing on the Dutch server now, so everything here is in Dutch, but I'll translate it into English. But most of you lot will already know what all these buttons mean, so I won't translate it too much, otherwise it will be a very long video. Anyways, the Great War map. So, the first thing that you want to do is making sure that you won't enter a very, very old game. So let's say a game which is already 20 days old, for example. We can play on this map, but you could go for this map as well with only 4 days. Why is that? If you choose the right country, you won't bump into a lot of players, and that's the first tip. So the second tip is you could log into the map as a guest. You don't have to log into the map to choose a country and see if there are already a lot of players that are, for example, playing in Europe. You could log into the map as a guest. So let's do that for this map, day 0. But let's pretend this map is already 5 days old and it has, well, let's say 10 players. So this is the map, okay? The Great War map. You can see I have not chosen a country, but I still can see the map. So let's say there are already 10 players in this map. Let's look into, Northern Africa. Why not? So we have Morocco over here. So let's say Morocco is a player, and Algeria as well, and Arabia, and why not? Western Algeria and Eastern Algeria, both of them are players, and Italy, Spain, you know, all of those countries. So let's say all of them are players. A lot of players, what they do when they enter the map, they choose a country which is very close to countries that are already played by players. So for example, Greece. Why in hell would you choose Greece as a country when your entire region where you play is filled by players? Just choose, for example, Canada over here. Just choose Canada. I don't know if this country is called Canada. Let me check. Yeah, North Canada. Why not choose North Canada? So you don't have to bump into a lot of players. So you won't have any problems expanding your nation. But if you would go for example for Greece, then you would have a lot of problems because Italy would be a player, and Western and Eastern Algeria, and Morocco, and maybe even the Ottoman Empire, which is a very popular nation to play, and Arabia, and so on and so on and so on. So choose a country which is not packed full with players around you, so you won't have a lot of opportunities to expand your nation. So in this case, if a lot of players were playing in the northern part of North Africa, just go for a nation which is very, very far from that action. So for example, northern Canada. So that is my second tip. My third tip would be choose a country which is in the corner of a map. Why is that so? I'll tell you why. Let's say, for example, you would choose Germany. The problem with Germany is in the middle of all the action. Why is that? Germany is bumped with a lot of countries in the east and west. In the west you have England or Great Britain, and you have France. You even have in the south Italy. And in the east, you got Poland, you got Lithuania, and you got Austria-Hungary. In the north, you got Sweden, Norway, Finland. Germany is packed with a lot of countries on its borders. So if you would play as Germany, you would have to look onto your borders a lot in case somebody would enter your nation and try to conquer some provinces. So if you would choose a country which is in a corner of a map, so let's say southern US, then you won't have that problem. The only thing that you would have as a problem would be Northern America over here. So that would be only one player. This is not a player, this is an AI. So an AI would never attack you without declaring war on him. So an AI won't hurt you at all. A player can. Only the US can attack you. So only choose a country which is in a corner of a map. So for example, southern US. A lot of players ask themselves, why do players like to play as Arabia and southern US and even northern Canada? Why is that? Well, this is the reason why. Because those are professional players that do know that if you choose countries like, for example, Germany, which is a very popular choice, because who doesn't want to play as Germany, or even Austria-Hungary, the gigantic empire of Austria-Hungary? Well, this is the reason why, because they just want to play the game as a professional player, and they want to win the map, of course. So this is the reason why they play these countries. So that would be my third tip. My fourth tip would be choose a country which has a lot of AI countries aside it. Why is that so? This is the reason. Let's say you would go for Sweden. Here is Sweden. In the middle of Scandinavia, you have a lot of countries that you could conquer which are not player lands or play countries, actually. For example, you got here Lithuania. I don't know if this is Lithuania, I think so. No, this is actually Lithuania. I don't know the name of this country in English, but anyways, let's say Lithuania. You got these three provinces, Riga, Valmiera, and Tallinn. And you got Denmark. The problem with these two countries is that you need to go over sea in order to conquer them, which takes a lot of time. So let's say Finland joins the game after one day. Well, basically your country is fucked. Literally. They will go behind you and they will conquer all of your lands. And vice versa as well, if you want to play as Finland. So if you want to play as Sweden, it would be a very, very difficult task if you want to conquer both Denmark and these three provinces in order to get some resources in and then wage war against, for example, Norway. So you need to choose a country which has a lot of AI countries or provinces aside it. So for example, Morocco. Morocco is an excellent choice. Why? This is the reason. You have French West Africa over here, which has, let's see, 5 provinces, which is not a lot. It's actually one of the biggest AI countries in this map, but you could conquer it with ease, especially if you go for the capital, Frederick, over here in the south. So you could conquer it with ease. And after you've done this, yes, you will have problems with Portugal, but you could go overseas to Portugal. But Tanger over here, your northern province of Morocco, isn't that far actually from Portugal, which is Lagos over here. So you could go for Portugal and steamboat over these 4 provinces, take these 4 provinces, then you have yourself a front in Europe, and you have a very strong mainland in northern Africa. And the best part of Morocco is you don't have any countries in the east, only southern US. So if you have good relations with southern US, you don't have to bump into him at any time in the game. So that is a good decision. Choose a country which has a lot of AI aside of it, so you could expand your nation. That is very important for your resources and for your army as well. So that is my 4th tip. Then my 5th tip. This is actually one of the most important tips of all. Choosing a country which doesn't have huge provinces. Why is that so? This is the reason why. Let's say you will go as Russia. Russia is a very, very popular choice in Supremacy 1914. Why? It's freaking Russia. It's huge. So it gives you an image of immense power because you have huge provinces. But actually, it's not that big. It's not that strong. It is big, but it's not that strong. If you have 10 provinces in Russia, even if they are the size of the entire map, you still only have 10 provinces. So what makes you stronger than me if I have 10 provinces as well? Maybe even with the same resources. So choosing a country with small provinces can be better than choosing a country with bigger provinces. Why is that? This is the reason why. Let's say you're choosing Russia and you want to invade, let's say, northern Russia as a player, or even if it's not a player, but you want to steamboat over it before a player joins and then gets you. So let's say you want to conquer northern Russia. You have to take all of your army, which is in Don Cossack, Sieratov, Penza, Simbresia, Orenburg, and all other provinces. You have to take them all the way from here to the northern part of your country. You can see, for example, Penza over here. Look at how huge this province is. Without railroads, it would maybe take you 9 hours in order to get out of this province, and then you would go to huge provinces like Kostroma, which is a huge province as well. So let's say you would have a lot of troops here in Don Cossack. Excuse me. You would have a lot of troops here in Don Cossack. You would let them mobilize to the northern part of Don Cossack, which will take you ages. Then you would send them to Penza, which will take an age. Then you would send them to Kostroma, which will take an age. So it will take a lot of time in order to mobilize your army if you want to conquer new land. But let's go to Poland. You can see this province of Penza is almost the size of Poland. I mean, come on! And Poland has 10 provinces as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 provinces, the same as Russia, but Russia is 4 times the size. But the strength is the same. So you could see almost exactly why you have to go with a country which doesn't have huge provinces. That will give you a good lead against countries that have huge provinces. So for example, if we would go for Poland and we would conquer Ukraine, if you want to mobilize your army from Kielce, Lublin, Siedlce, and Zamość here, and you would gather all of them with your right mouse button and send them to Zamość, or Zamos, or I don't know how to pronounce that province. So if you want to mobilize all of them to Samos, it would only take you, let's say, 4 hours, 5 hours, then all of them are mobilized, and then you could go for Volina, for example, or Podolia. You could start your war and then it's over. Then maybe you have your first province within 1 day or maybe a half. So Russia, on the other hand, if you want to invade northern Russia, it would take you gigantic amount of hours if you want to conquer in the entirety of northern Russia. So choose a country which doesn't have huge provinces, because it will give you more time to conquer more provinces. So it will mobilize your army faster. It won't do it literally, but you know what I mean. You will mobilize your army just in a couple of hours and gaining land, compared to, for example, Russia, which has huge provinces, and in the same amount of time you wouldn't even reach the enemy. So choosing a country with small provinces helps a lot. And then my last tip would be choose a country that you like to play. A lot of players, what they do is that they join a map, for example this map, the Great War map, and they see that all of their favorite countries, for example Germany and Russia, are already chosen. So what you then need to do is look for alternatives. For example, Austria-Hungary is a very, very nice country to play. I mean, look, it's huge and it's so beautiful to look at. So you have a open province over here, Lviv, that you could go to open a front into Russia. You have a province over here, Sarajevo, which is actually a Serbian province, but you could open your way into the Middle East, to Greece, and then the Ottoman Empire. You have Prague over here, Praha or Prague. You could open your way into Germany, and it's just a very nice country in the midst of all the action, and it's huge, it's strong, and it looks good, and I mean, it's perfect. So why would you not choose it? So, and if you don't want to play as Austria-Hungary, why not play as the Ottoman Empire, the mighty Ottoman Empire? You could go for Syria and then for Arabia and conquer the entire Middle East and Northern Africa. So you can be the Sultan of the Muslim Caliphate or Empire of the entirety of Northern Africa and Middle East, and it's just an amazing choice to go as the Ottoman Empire. So go for a country that you really want to play, and if there aren't any countries that you like to play, just choose another map, and if there isn't another map, just go for a country that you think you could do a lot of good things with it. Role playing, for example. I love to role play in Supremacy 1914. I love to do it. So this is all because of motivation, and this will help you not to be inactive, because it doesn't motivate you a lot if there are not a lot of things happening in the map, and the countries that you actually want to play as are already chosen. So just pick a country that you really would like to play, and not just because you have to, because the countries that you like to play are already chosen. So that is my last tip. So in order to demonstrate all of these tips, I would go into this map and play as, let's say, Southern US. I will choose Southern US so I can show you guys how to play Supremacy 1914 in the strategy guide, and I will update you guys on this map with the following parts of my strategy guide, and show you guys how you can at least be in the top 10 of this map, because there are 30 players, and if you are in the top 10, then you have done a very good job. But if you are in the top 5 or even top 3 players, then you can consider yourself a very good player. So let's demonstrate this map and just enter it. So enter the map. Oh, known land selection. Well, you know what? Screw it. That's another thing that a lot of players forget. Not every map has country selection. So anyways, we are France, but yeah, no problem. We have Switzerland over here, we have Belgium, and we have the Netherlands that we could conquer. So yeah, you know what, no problem. Oh, and we have an island over here, Jessio, which is a very important island, for by the way. So you know what, let's play as France. Why not? And I hope there will be a lot of players playing in this map, so we can start some alliances and show you actually how to play this map. Anyways, that was my video for today. I hope you guys are entertained by this video, and most importantly have gained a lot of knowledge on how to choose a country properly in Supremacy 1914 in order to have some more victories and fun in this game. So if so, please like this video and give me a comment down below in the comment section with your tips and tricks, and maybe even more information about this, or if you want to have tips and tricks for me on how to give better information, or if you think that I forgot anything. So anyways, if you have something to say, please say it into the comments in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I hope I will see you guys in a future video. So my next video, I think it will be the strategy guide part 2. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and later.